Hi everybody and welcome back to the Brain Cancer Run. I hope you're all well. I'm Paul and tonight I'm at the running club. We're doing a session called Rolling Sevens. Essentially we never stop. You just keep running. We do an effort for 1 minute, then we do recovery for 2 minutes, we do an effort for 6 minutes. So your efforts are 1 and 6, obviously rolling sevens. And then the next efforts are 2 and 5, and then we turn around and we run back, doing a 5 and a 2 effort, a 6 and a 1 effort. And in between each effort is a 2 minute jog, so that's why it's called rolling sevens, because you essentially you never stop, you're always on the move. The pace is supposed to be 10k pace. We're already here right now in the 1 minute effort. It doesn't look that quick, but we do get quicker. We ended up running the session at 410 to 420 pace per kilometre. I couldn't stick with that pace for the whole session. I was battling from the second long effort where we dropped down to about 4 minute per kilometre pace, which ended up being a bit too much for me. And this is the rep that has that in. As you can see, we've started on a slight hill, slight incline up to the high point, which is brilliant. It's exactly what you want to be doing on your 6 minute rep, your longest rep of the session. But yeah, I just couldn't stick with the pace for the group. We ended up, like I say, we dropped down to 4 minute per kilometre pace, and that in the minute that's a bit too much for me. I couldn't stay with them, and that's fine, to be honest. Like, I jump into the C group knowing quite well that I'm not going to be able to stick with the group for the session. But if I can hold on for as long as I can and then try and maintain a decent-ish pace, then I'm happy enough with that at the minute. I'm only just over a year from surgery, and if you'd have told me I'd be doing this kind of sessions a year on from then, like this time last year, I hadn't even started running, so I'd be well happy with that, to be honest. And ultimately that's the goal, isn't it? I'm trying to get back. It's going to take time. Still got a lot of fatigue, and I was actually talking to that with one of the lasses in the group who's had a baby at about the same time as me, but obviously she's gone through the pregnancy, so she's coming back to running. We used to run together in the B team, so I was asking her like how she's feeling getting back into running this time, because I'm finding it really hard to get back up to pace. Like, I know I'm not doing enough sessions, but I wanted to get to this session because a lot of the sessions I've been doing recently are on the track. And they're short, sharp reps, short efforts, but with loads of pace in them. Whereas this is a more drawn out. The pace is still quite high, but it's a much longer session. I think we ended up running about 11k, and the majority of that is at pace. So obviously I skipped forward past the jog recovery. I should have turned my camera off for those recoveries, but I didn't. I didn't really think about how long the session was going to be. So I didn't end up recording all of the session and all of the efforts, unfortunately. Obviously next time I'll try and remember that and switch the camera off for the rest, because we're just jogging, no one really cares. So this is the 6 minute effort. As I said, I wanted to get to this session because I need those longer, harder sessions in my legs. And whether I can stay with the group or not is kind of irrelevant to me. It doesn't really affect me mentally. I don't really care about it. I would rather be at the back of a group clinging on for dear life for as long as I can, and then just bring it home at a nicer pace, rather than the alternative to that is obviously running with a D group, who is ultimately a slower group. I wouldn't be pushed as hard, I wouldn't be getting as much out of the session, and generally towards the end of the session I'd be thinking like, well, I've got loads of energy in my legs, I'll just push now, and then you get to the end and you haven't really given your all. Whereas in this session, obviously, I'm from the get-go, you're giving as much effort as you can to get the session down, and you're clinging on mentally in as well. That's like building up the mental strength side of me as well. Like, if I can stick with this group mentally and just push through the pain barrier for as long as I can, then when I get to races and it starts getting hard, like you're kind of training that as well. You're training that mental side, and that's one of the areas where at Anik actually last week in cross country I did really well, because about halfway through that race, I wanted to stop, I wanted to give up, and I didn't. I managed to push through, but like I haven't been training my body and my mind for that. The hard efforts. Like you say, on the track you get to do a lot of static recoveries where you do get a rest. But in these sessions you don't get that, And I need that as well. Sometimes you need to be able to push your, it's not just pushing your body, it's pushing your mind and training your mind to go through it. Now, as you say, yeah, the lads they're starting to pick up. We've got about 5 or 6 people in this group that are marathon training, so they've got a lot of good leg strength. I mean, Graham at the front, my 2 coaches are at the front of this year, they're pulling us away. Graham's been doing ultra marathon, so the amount of strength he's got in his legs, like, yeah, sure, they might not have the pace in their legs, but they've got far more strength than I do currently. I'm just hanging on for dear life and trying to plug away, and I'm just happy to be out there running, but you know, still trying to get it done and trying to get my sessions done. As I said, like, most of the sessions I get to are track sessions because I can only really make Tuesdays, and 50% of those sessions, like every other Tuesday, we do a track session. And the reason for that is I'm still banned from driving, even though I should have technically been unbanned in like December 12th, which would have been the anniversary of my surgery. The DVLA have had my license application since October, and 6 months later I still haven't heard a word from them. I still haven't got my license back, so I'm still relying on other people to take me to the track, well, take me to the club, which is a bit annoying. But I really need these sessions in my legs because obviously it's, you know, it's road season coming up. We've got a lot of 10Ks. The last cross country race is on this Saturday, and that's going to be at Eltringham. So keep an eye out for that video, which is coming soon. Hopefully I do alright at that run. And I've also got my latest scan results will be coming next Wednesday, so just over a week. I'll be getting those scan results, so I'll probably be putting them, whatever happens in those results, I'll be putting that in a video. I've been struggling with that a little bit recently, like with I don't know whether I'm struggling with anxiety or just, you know, expecting the worst to come from my results, and that's causing us a bit of anxiety, which is obviously, I'm starting to get headaches and stuff. I think it's just worrying. And yeah, that group in front of us there, you can see we're catching them. That's the other C group. We really shouldn't be catching the other groups. You're supposed to be running at the same pace, but like I said, the lads are towing us away. But there's a bit of a what's the word? Like a spring effect going on there, where these started before us, so we start catching them, and then you can see here again. This is the what is this? This is the 2-minute rep of the second rolling 7 we do. Of 4. So they've started before us, so they're pulling away, and then as they slow down towards the end of their rep, we'll start catching them. So Simon started us again there, he's keeping tabs on the clock forward. So this is going to be the 2-minute effort of the second 7. Like I said, I've cut out the jog recoveries. I've had to edit them out. I still recorded them, but I've edited them because who wants to watch jog recoveries? But yeah, the pace was absolutely mental. That 6-minute pace was 4 kilometers. It was pretty quick, and it completely took it out of my legs. But I still, like I said, I had to plug in, I had to dig in, and try and use the people around us and mentally just fight through it, get all the way through. We get all the way to Tynemouth. Say 11k it's quite a big session. That we actually managed to overtake this other group. Which, I mean, that's not the goal, but it just shows how much we're pushing in the efforts. The slowest parts of the efforts when I gave up, when I knew I couldn't stick with the group and I like held back a little bit, I was running at 4:30 pace per kilometre, which is about my 5k pace at the minute. So, you know, over 11k running the faster paces, and then my slow pace is still my 5k pace at the minute. It's, you know, that's a lot of paces in one sentence. But yeah, I'm like, even though I feel like I'm running slower and I'm dropping off the back of the group, like I say, I'd much rather be running with the group for as long as I can and holding on and training myself mentally. I'd still rather be doing that than running off the front of a group and not really being pushed around. And yeah, unfortunately the camera doesn't catch the whole session, but you know, it's decent enough to see what kind of sessions I'm going through. And you know, if you're in your recovery phase of post-surgery from cancer, then you know, I'm out here absolutely, you know, knacking myself in. trying to get the efforts in and trying to push myself mentally. With all the life's issues as well, you know, you've got anxiety of, you know, waiting for results. You know, I've got toddlers, you know, waking up at 6 in the morning to deal with kids, and just all the life's issues, all the problems that life's throws at you, and still trying to get my training done. Like I said, I'm not getting as much training as I want to, but I'm still managing to get out there, still managing to plug away, and looking back on where I was last year, like massively improved. Obviously, like I wasn't even running at this point last year, so
yeah, this is not good.
Still happy with my progress. I just want to do more, obviously, because at some point in the future, when chemo comes or radiotherapy or whatever kind of treatment I have, I might not be able to run at all. So I've got to look for the positives in that. Right now, I'm fit and healthy. I'm not as fit and healthy as I used to be, obviously, and that's probably one of the hardest things about it, because it's so easy to give up when you know you're not able to put in the efforts. And the fitness is so much harder than it was the first time around when I didn't have brain cancer. I felt like training was easy. I'd go to training and push as hard as I can, but I wasn't thinking about headaches or any kind of fatigue or what's going to happen to us. You didn't really have any of them worries, so you were able to just go and run freely. And that's the same in races as well. It's so easy to give up knowing that you've got brilliant excuses to not be putting yourself through the pain. But yeah, it's really. I think I mentioned that to Graham, my coach, who's just on my left there at one point as well. Like, it's so easy to give up when you've got brain cancer, but ultimately, because I am just here to have fun and to try and stay fit. I don't know why I'm putting myself through so much pain. Like, because in the middle of the runs and in the middle of the sessions, I'm absolutely dying. Like, I'm hanging, like I can't even breathe. Legs are killing, and you're just trying to push through. And ultimately, I'm hoping that these videos are showing you that it is possible to do. It's bloody hard, but there's nothing stopping you from doing it. There's nothing stopping me from doing it other than my own, weakness. And that's, I'm trying to overcome that. That's why I'm training. That's why I'm trying to get as many sessions as I can. Still entering races. We've got, like I say, we've got cross country coming this weekend. I think Easter weekend I've got North Tyneside 10k, and then 2 days after that I've got the last Grand Prix race, which I can't remember if I've said this in a video. I'm still struggling with memory issues. I might have said this in a previous video, so apologies if I did. I am now second in the Grand Prix. There is a lady who's overtook me and is 30 positions ahead of me. So the next Grand Prix, I need to take 30 positions ahead of her. So hopefully I can do that. That's why I'm training. So hopefully I can get ahead of, I believe her name's Helen. I don't know her personally. But I've got 30 positions to make up on it. So I'll be trying to give as much effort in that race as I can. It is a race. It's what, 8k I think, just over 8k maybe. It's on the exact same route as we run the normal Grand Prix. Obviously I'll talk about this in the Grand Prix video when that comes out in, I think it's 2 or 3 weeks. First Tuesday of April I run that race. So I'll be giving as much effort as I can in that race, because I can essentially win the Grand Prix, which at the beginning of the year in August when I entered it, when I did the first race, I had no expectations of trying to win, but now that I'm so close to it, I might as well go out and try and do it. Why not? It's a handicap series at the end of the day, so it's in my favour, I guess, because I'm on the comeback trail. But yeah, I had no expectations of trying to win, but now that I'm there and I can almost, it's in reach, I might as well give it a go. This was absolutely brutal, obviously. This hill is absolutely savage. I mean, you can see it's splitting the group up somewhat rotten. We've got half the other C groups in here. Our C group's split all over the place. We're overtaking people, running uphill. I think my heart rate spiked to like highs of like 180, which is about that's quite pacey for me. I don't normally run for heart rate, so I don't really pay attention to it too much. But I know anything in the 180s for me is that's quite a lot of effort. And yeah, this is the end of the 5 minutes. We go turn at the clock tower here, and then we jog back. We start our recovery back, and then start into the session. I think a lot of people took a static recovery. I took about 20 seconds static, and then I turned and ran home, getting into the next effort. But yeah, this is us overtaking the other C group. which we shouldn't really be doing, but there we are. Just shows how much effort we're putting in our group if we're overtaking the other groups that are supposed to be running the same pace. And yeah, I'll leave you with a return journey. It's not the full journey, as I said. The camera ran out of battery. I should have stopped it on the jog recoveries. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one, which will be the cross-country video.
It's exciting, is it?
It's not, but I thought I'd let you have it.
Thanks, mate. That's why you're my favourite coach.
And yeah, back into the reps. Yeah, thanks very much for watching, everyone. I really appreciate the views, and hopefully this helps people in the future. So the more views, the better. Hopefully people can see the videos and get some inspiration and some proof that running my brain cancer doesn't stop me. It's hard, obviously. It's always hard. I think I see that in a little bit actually in this video. And I'll leave you with that. Thanks very much for watching. See you on the next one. Look after yourselves. I'm going to try my best to look after myself as well. Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's another 14 minutes of interval.
Speak for yourself. Yeah. Struggling, but I'm alright. Yeah. It's always hard. This is how much of it can you block out?